Hey everybody, welcome back to SteelWarrior Shogun 2 Battle Replay Guide, addressing cheese issues and commonly posted problems that players have in the competitive Shogun 2 world. So you guys are asking for it, here it is. It's the Naginita Samurai Spammer. Typical jack of all trades army, tends to do pretty good against just about anybody just because Naginita units in general are a little bit of everything. A lot of people seem to have a problem countering it. Again, I'm using my typical balanced 22k army, a couple bow units, my legendary sword units, some cannon fodder, my Yari Samurai, yada yada yada. You guys, if you watch the other videos, you're pretty familiar with it. So at this point, again, he's got most people, especially in the 22k range, won't field 100% Nag Samurai. So in this case, you're gonna have a couple units of veteran cavalry to deal with, as well as, you know, archers to make sure he doesn't just get ranged the entire fight. So first thing I'm gonna do is put my archers out a little in front. I kind of want to try and bait in his cavalry, and unload my fire arrows as soon as I can. Turns out he has a lot more cavalry than I did. I only brought 2 units. However, my Yari Samurai. The key thing is when I play an aggressive army like this, the whole idea of the army is to move forward as a complete unit. I don't leave anything behind. I find if I field archers, especially in the lower ranks, I can't cover them because either you leave the Yari Samurai at the back or you put them behind your army. Either way, something gets pinned. So at this point he's coming around from 2 different ways. I'm just going to use a sword unit because it's closest. Not too particularly worried about it. I don't put a lot of value on my bow units, as you probably figured out by the time you watched a couple of my videos. So at this point, you gotta watch the general, but not such a big deal. I've set up a Yari unit close by. A lot of people don't realize that Yari Samurai move pretty goddamn quick, especially if you have speed upgrades and rapid deploy them. So this guy totally making a huge mistake by engaging. This particular Yari Samurai, again, 40-45 defense against horses. So while this is going on, I don't really have to worry about the front line. He's just killing my archers. Again, I don't really give a shit about my archers. In the meantime, I'm going to devastate the hell out of his cavalry on both sides. At this point, I feel the battle's in my advantage. I'm going to search forward. Because he's so clustered like this, what you want to do is you want to deploy your front line of aggressive units, preferably katana swords, right across the front. At that point, what you're going to do is 1 unit versus 1 unit, katana swords always win. Problem that a lot of people have is there tends to be a lot of units in Naginita, and a lot of people field more archers, other units, so it's just an overwhelming force essentially. So what I am going to do is just get in there, get him in combat. He's making a mistake by not having his general near. I don't think that guy was spec for leadership, which again I definitely do disapprove of. So anyways, my general bodyguard, I told him to finish off that katana. I totally forgot about him. Mistake on my part. Again, relatively new to 22k range, not the best at it. At this point I'm not committing everything because 1 versus 1 I will win this fight, so at this point leaving units in reserve is a better idea. Sometimes people just throw all their units in there. It's a big mistake because what happens if one routes, it tends to, you know, carry on the effect to the others. As you can see, I am war cried. Again, if I hadn't destroyed his cavalry early, he'd probably attack those units, cause some serious damage. At this one point I actually messed up a little bit. I should have put my Yari cavalry here and here. As you can see, I kind of have my shitty Yari unit that I just couldn't afford to take anything else over here. Oh yeah, this guy was spec swords, I forgot about that. So I forgot about him, oops. But essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull him within my compound of Yari Samurai now. So as you can see, my archers have been shredded because I give them no protection. Again, I don't put very much priority on them. They probably got shit all for kills. So essentially I'm just going to create a compound to cover my ass. At this point I will win one-on-one or small group against these Naginita warrior monks. One of the big things about facing this army is having veterans. If you don't have veterans, you were pretty much fucked. Because essentially you need the morale value, because that's what they do. They outlast you. They just don't take many losses because they're high armor and defense. You can't really counter them with anything. Arrows don't really work very well. They have a bonus against cavalry. Literally an aggressive sword army is pretty much the only way to go. So at this point, I see he virtually has no cavalry, so I'm just going to throw in my Yari units just for that extra little push. Standing and fighting here, which in my opinion is far superior to his glorified Great Guard unit essentially. Again, I'm not going to commit the Yari, even though they're veterans, their morale's still shit. If they're out, I wouldn't want to have a negative effect on everything else. And if you get right in here, you can see that he's not wrapping around any of my units because I deployed my swords flush against him. He has no way of flanking. Some nag spamming people will flank around to the sides. What I would really suggest doing is putting some units on your sides. Maybe 1 or 2 units just to soak up the units, because 1 unit can fight off 3 units or get them in combat, so it's harder to move them. At that point I would surge all your units forward and attempt to break the center. Now again, the point of this video is not to show that I'm good or he's bad. It's just to show how to deal with this kind of unit comp. Again, I truly do believe fielding a balanced army is better than fielding a spam of what's considered an overpowered unit. This guy was definitely the same rank as me, obviously. He had the same quality of veteran units that I did. It's just his leveling choice. You can tell he was definitely a Nag spammer when he was, rank 5, rank 6. So at this point I'm going to end the video because I'm having a hard time getting it under 2 gigs to upload to YouTube. But if you guys have any questions, comments, if you'd like anything in particular addressed, feel free to post. I am doing my best to get the videos up as fast as possible, and I will have other examples of dealing with Naginita samurai's spam basically as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.